What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have my full review on the Asics DSi X-Fly 6. It's been a while since I did the playtest, and it took me a while just because I don't have a lot of time to test out boots, and I am testing out a lot of different boots. But I took my time with these, and I honestly think these are great. Now the X-Fly Pro 3 and the X-Fly 6 do look very similar, but they are different, and I did a comparison video um, a while ago. So if you guys are interested and want to see the differences, go check that video out. But I will say that I do prefer the X-Fly 6 over the X-Fly Pro 3. That's just my personal preference. So today I'm just going to talk about the boot and tell you guys what I liked. Mainly positive things. I don't really have anything negative to say about this boot. So I guess we'll just go ahead. And like the silky wrap here is just fantastic. The best like synthetic leather upper in my opinion. It's really nice and padded. You guys can see right there, it's well broken in. This one does feel a little bit more padded than the X5 Pro 3. That one is slightly thinner. And this one for me, I just find it just a little bit more padded and a little bit more cushion. It's not thick, but it does feel really nice on the ball. You get a nice dampening feel when you're juggling, passing, and stuff like that. This material here is a little bit thinner and it's a little bit more structured. So it holds down your foot really nicely. I didn't really find any rollover in this boot. It felt secure. Honestly, this lacing system, you get a really nice fit and you really get to pull the laces and just have a nice secure fit across the foot, which is really nice. The upper itself, I found that it broke in pretty quickly. It felt pretty good straight out of the box. It was soft and it was barely any break-in time needed for these. I will say they stretch and kind of form to the shape of my foot just a little bit better. You guys can see my foot is kind of wide, and so I feel like it is stretched here on the side, which is a good thing. So I guess if you do have a wider foot, these are really good options just because it will stretch. But obviously they still kept this shape pretty well. So yeah, the upper, I have no complaints with it whatsoever. In terms of touch and lockdown, it feels great. Moving on to the heel, this heel is fantastic. I prefer this heel over the X-Fly Pro 3 just because it is a little bit more pinch and it just grabs my heel a little bit better, and it kind of wraps my ankle just a little bit better. You guys can see it kind of like just, I don't know, closes in a little bit more, and so when you have it on feet and you pull everything, it just feels a little bit more seamless. At least for me, it like holds my ankle just a little bit better, and it's just a really nice, comfortable heel. There's no slippage whatsoever. It feels very secure, very comfortable. You do get an external heel counter, which feels solid. Here in the back, it's nice and soft. And for me, this is an excellent heel. Like I said, I found no issues with this. Super comfortable, and it performs great. Moving on to the outsole, it is mainly conical studs. And for me, I found it to be great on my AG pitch. I didn't find any issues with it. Maybe they're slightly long, obviously, because they are FG boots, but like I find them to be okay in my AG pitch. I didn't really find myself getting stuck whatsoever just because they are conical studs. So for me, they're good. The sole plate itself, you guys can see it does have just a little bit of a curve, so when you set it down, it kind of keeps you on your toes. So I don't mind that. It feels kind of natural when you're running, just because it is a little bit on a curve. When you're standing still, it does feel just a little bit awkward, just because you kind of just want to stand on your toes. So maybe you might not like that, but honestly, after a while, I just didn't really notice it. But this sole plate itself is kind of on the flexible side. It does get a little bit softer as you use them and you play with them. They just get, I mean, they're still good. Like here in the midfoot, they're nice and stiff, and you get just a little bit of like a snapback, but it is more on the flexible side, which honestly isn't bad. But I do prefer the X5 Pro 3 sole plate. That one just feels a little bit more responsive, a little bit more snappy. This one is more on the flexible side, so if you like that, then you might like these. But honestly, like the sole plate itself is pretty solid. I have nothing bad to say about it. Now, in terms of the fit, like I said before, because of the lacing system, you just get a really nice fit. Just because it is pretty deep, and you're able to adjust the midfoot like however you want. You can pull it and get it very tight. You can loosen it and not so tight if you do have a wider foot. Me personally, I like pulling it, and just it wraps my foot really nicely. Here in the toe box, it is a different shape. As you guys can see, it does kind of come to a little bit of a point compared to the X-Fly Pro 3. I feel like that one's more anatomical. This one, I just find that there's just a little bit of extra space. For me, I feel like it's not enough to go down half size just because it would be too tight. And probably my toes here will feel too tight and too uncomfortable. So for me, true to size is fine. It's not a crazy amount of space. I can work with it. But I feel like if you do like just a tighter boot overall. I feel like going down half size is not a bad idea, especially because this upper is kind of soft, so you should be fine. Like I said, I do have a wider foot, so I feel like that's just going to be uncomfortable, especially since like the toe box is kind of narrow. If it was more of an anatomical toe box, I could probably get away with it, but this one is more of a pointed toe box. Yeah, and overall, I find that the X-Fly 6 is just a really good boot. Like, it will be in my top 5 boots at the end of the year, I believe. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put it. I have to see, but I do believe they will be in my top 5. So that's it for today's quick review on the X-Fly 6. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you're notified for future videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.